Welcome guys to another ProfileTree video. So today we're going to be going through the best resume builder websites. Now of course there are a couple of different options and it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially choosing the best website builder for yourself. So I've went ahead and covered some different website builders that you could possibly use. Now use it as a base or foundation. Maybe there are other platforms out there that are more suited to your business or to yourself, sorry. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. So choosing a website builder. Now you got to make sure that when you're creating your resume, you take a couple of points in. Now, when you're comparing the different website builders, there's a few things to consider to reach the goal for your website. Now, of course, we can completely skip the first point there since we're not creating an e-commerce website. Second point there, if you are looking for something simple, of course, this could be a blog, basic site, or for this purpose, a resume. Then you would want to choose something that is an easy interface to use. Now, there are some well-designed templates that are already created by default on either Wix, Squarespace, Zyro, GoDaddy. There's all those different website builders that have these built in, so make sure you keep an eye for that. Also, on top of that, for those that aren't too technical with website building, you may want to look into something that is a drag and drop, and that means that you completely eliminate the use of HTML, CSS, and JS, and these are all the different coding tools that you would necessarily use to create and build a website. Now, of course, if you are a little bit more knowledgeable within the digital industry and you want to be creative with your resume, of course, you can have like URL redirect services, file managers, FTP managers, and MIME types. And this means that you could just have a complete control over your site. Now, of course, if you are building a resume site, it wouldn't really, this point wouldn't necessarily be valid for this website build. So something you could probably look into skipping. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move on. So what website builders are available for yourself to create a resume? Now, first point there, we've got Wix Editor, and it is a powerful website builder without being too overwhelming. Also comes with plenty of templates. It's also got great customer support, and I think that this would be a top choice for beginners or pro web builders. Now, the next one there, I've got Squarespace, and I've also stated the fact that it's one of the more popular website builders out there. It's also got a load of different features. It's pretty much packed with it, same as Wix. That can be handy for the user. So, of course, using these features would increase the functionality of your website, and you could just have a more nicer design for your resume. Now, it can take a while, of course, to learn the location and menus and features of Squarespace, but once you get the hang of it, then it'll be easier. Now, this builder is a cross between drag and drop editor and a point and click editor, so that's something to note for those people. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about GoDaddy, and it's great for first-time builders. Now, it's not a technical website builder, so literally zero skills needed. All you need to do is answer a few questions, and it builds the website for you. So pretty much so either your business or the purpose of your site. Of course, if the purpose of your site is to create a resume, then it'll build a site for you based on the resume, of course. So if you don't want to go through the route of answering questions, you could go and choose a template you like and pretty much just go from there. Problem is that GoDaddy doesn't offer as many design options, which is the downfall, but it's not too much of a downfall, especially since the fact that you're already getting a very, very easy website builder and as I said, zero technical skills, so there's not really much to complain about for GoDaddy. Now Jimdo, this platform helps you create a personalized site. So this would probably be more suited for yourselves, especially when creating your resume. Pretty much under or around 3 minutes to create that website builder. And yeah, this platform is primarily used as a builder for regular websites. Lastly, there we've got Zyro, which is a website builder that has the lowest prices by far. Unfortunately, in order for you to take advantage of some of the low cost plans, you need to agree to a 4-year contract. So of course there always will be a catch to using some of these website builders. Now, after that, you'll get a choice anyway of 100 free templates at least to get started. Designs are great, however, I have realized that they do rely on hero sections or hero images to nail the designs. This could be done with any of the other website builders, but to be fair, Zyro is a nice website builder and it's fairly similar to Wix, but we'll go ahead and look into that later on. Now, we're going to go ahead and check out the pros and cons for each website builder, just to get some background knowledge, of course, before picking the one that you want. Coming in at the start there, we've got GoDaddy, and it offers a 24/7 customer support. It is great value for the introductory plans as well, and uses an artificial design intelligence to create a quick website. ADI is, as it says, artificial design intelligence, asks you a couple of questions, and it builds that website for you. So similar to the other website builder we talked about that builds a site within 3 minutes, it's pretty much the same. Now the cons of this is that it has a limited app market, very limited customization, pricey with the add-ons. Now of course if you were trying to build an e-commerce site or even a non-e-commerce site, now not particularly a resume, so you probably don't need to look into the cons, but for knowledge anyway, it's just it can affect your SEO, meaning that your ranking and traffic isn't going to be as good of a flow as you would want it to be. And SEO is very, very important with websites, of course. It's just something that you need in order to boost your website view. Anyway, enough chat. We'll go ahead and check out what the GoDaddy platform looks like. So here we are in GoDaddy website platform. So as you can see, there are different types of templates that are available to you. Now, if you were looking for something to do with the resume, I'm going to go ahead and have a look here. So there are a couple of different options here, as you can see. So this part here, as you can see, this is where you could create a resume. Now this is where you could start off from personal and blog, or if you do decide to, you can go ahead and create a built website for yourself, just one out of blank. So here's one here, okay. We'll go ahead and start a new site. We'll click continue. Now if we wanted to write down resume, of course there's one there, and we'll go and click next. And for the purpose of the video, we'll just say ProfileTree, and we'll say that it's been up and running for a while, and something simple that doesn't take a lot of time, and we're gonna go ahead and select a full website. So hopefully this gives us a resume. So we'll just go ahead and wait for this to load. As you can see, not even 3 minutes and it's already firing up a website behind us, this little screen here. So there you are, there's our resume. So it even gives us, of course, instead of ProfileTree, you would include your name. And then there's a home there, and then you would write down contact me. There's an area where it says available for hire. And overall, it even gives us an area for where I've gained experience, a skill set, and some of my goals. And of course, this is where you would add your files in. and even some links to a social media. Now, of course, you can add sections if you do want to. So there's a couple of options there. As you could see, there's audio and video. If you wanted to add some videos of, let's just say you were a web developer and then you wanted to add some of the coding that you've done, or even if you have a YouTube channel based on the tutorials that you create, you could do that. You could add some of the live streams if you want to, or any audio. Of course, this is where you would add your files. There's HTML there, as you can see, or some of the files here. So this is where you would upload any of the recent work that you've done, or if it's something to do with a labor job, of course, then you would, if you have some images or pictures, then you can add them in. So you can have an image gallery if you wanted to. As you can see, I could add that photo gallery in, and with a click, it'll take a little minute or two to load in. And as you can see, we have an added photo gallery. I can even write down here my work. So as you can see, it's just an easy platform to use. It's not overall a hard platform. It even auto saves for you for any changes that you've created as well. You can go ahead and publish or preview it depending on how you want to do it, and then you can also publish it using the settings. Now there are pages that you can add through as well, like just clicking on the add page. You can add a link to an external site if you want, so just dependent on where you want to link them to, even if it's a social media or whatever, you can go ahead and do so. So yeah, very, very fast, non-technical website builder. Highly recommended, especially if you don't want to take too much time building a website just for a resume. So moving on, we'll go back to the PowerPoint and check out the other website builders you can look at. Next up in line, we've got Zyro, and for the pros, it's great for beginners. It's got SSL encryption, drag and drop editor. Now that's something you would want to have, especially if you want to get a little bit creative with your resume. Of course, you want to impress the employer, then that's one way to do it. It also is very easy to use. Now, issue is you can't switch to another template once you've picked. It lacks advanced features, and there's also no real-time support for a free plan. As well as that, there is no access to code editing, so there are a couple of issues with that. Anyway, we'll go ahead and check out what the Zyro website builder platform looks like. Now there's a selection of different templates for this one, and I can even search some templates if I want to, so I don't need to filter them out unlike GoDaddy there. So just say we're going to go ahead and look for a resume, and I can hit select. Now it should give me some different results here. So as you can see, there's Tatiana, Rude, Lauren. So these are, well, actually, see, it looks like there's a couple of different ones as well. Even have some generated templates here for you. So these are like blank templates. Now this is what can get a little bit confusing. Of course, blank templates are listed along here, so you can start from scratch as well if you wanted to. Now it is still a very, very easy platform to use as well, since everything is easily navigated. It's just getting to know the navigation and working your way around the actual developer tool. Now say I wanted to pick a template anyway, and we can go ahead and preview that as well and just check it out pretty much and see what I can add to it. So of course you would add your name here and then a profile picture of yourself. Of course we've got an email button there, and then a little bit of story or background story about the individual. Now of course they've also added a LinkedIn profile as well, which is a great way to showcase the experience that you've gained through the different companies or the different services that you've went through in life. And of course here we've also got a section for a skill set. Now they've got product development, project management, agile workflow, and business development. And it even shows a timeline of the work experience that they've had from looks like 2014 on the way up to the present time. Now they've also added a certificate area as well as education, and they've even got a quote there, or not a quote, sorry, a reference towards this individual employee. Now this looks to have been the previous employer, and they've just given in pretty much a reference or some good feedback about this particular person. Now you could see between GoDaddy and Zyro that the website builder is a lot more minimalistic, as well as that it's very, very well built as well. It actually goes through the template that you would want it to be as a resume. Now, of course, if I wanted to select a resume here as a blank, now I think there was one here, which is this one. So this one is a generated template, and I can go ahead and start building that as well. But of course, it is great to have these different templates, gives you a design idea, and on top of that, it just gives you a base to go ahead and start working. So here's another one, Rude McKinney, and this one is solely using a massive hero section. You can see the design as well. It's very, very modern. So it's something that will attract the employer, especially if you have a website. So that pretty much just tops it up instead of just having a paper form CV emailing it through. So this overall is fairly impressive. And as I said, you can go ahead and use a blank template if you want to, and then you could pretty much just start building from there. So each to their own pretty much, however you want, way you want to do it, design wise, or if you have some time to create this resume from scratch, then by all means go for it. Anyway, we'll move on to the next website builder. Squarespace is another great website builder, so we'll go ahead and take a look into this one. So the pros of this is that it has modern, stunning website designs, user-friendly editor, which is great. It's got a good number of apps for added functionality to the site, AMP formatting, limited availability labels for e-commerce. Now, of course, that's something we don't really need to look into. Only issue is it lacks the customization freedom, so designs can vary. Fairly expensive for what it is compared to other website builders. Now, this is in terms of the planning or the plans that it's available to you per month or per annum. Now, there's also the limited customer support, which is the issue. So, with the first point there being lacks the customization freedom, if you don't really care too much about how the design looks for a website, of course, it's just a minimalistic website. You more want to showcase yourself rather than what you can do with a website. But for those who are web developers and want to have a quick and easy website, of course, you probably might not even want to use the website builders and you would want to code yourself. But if you do choose Squarespace, it may be something that you may be a little bit disappointed with, especially in terms of there is no customization. But enough looking into that, we'll go ahead and check out the actual website builder. Now, this is the initial place you will be going through, especially if you've created an account with Squarespace. Now, the interface, I must say, or the navigation is a little bit confusing at times, especially since they have changed a couple of bits and pieces around, like the use blank template. But anyway, they do have an area here where you can go ahead and filter out. So they've even got one there, as you can see, personal and CV. And if I select that, they are very minimalistic websites. However, it gets straight to the point and gives you a overview of what you can create. So say we go ahead and view this template, and this is a one-page website by the looks of things, and it is very interactive as well, so get straight to the point. So of course the name of the website is Clayton Carl. Gives the employer straight away what they did or what they're currently doing, and straight away gives a bit of the experience about themselves and pretty much shows off the skill. And then the footer here is of course, drop me a line and let's meet, which is, of course, phoning the individual employee. Now you can contact them via Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or I'm assuming email or phone number. Okay, so it looks like you can submit an area here for them. I do think it is a little bit bland in terms with the design. Of course, there are other ones there that you can choose from. So not to drag it down. Of course, there are, look, as you can see, there are some great ones here. There's one there for Cole, and it looks like this is a full website build. But compared to Zyro, I would assume if you are looking for a resume for you, of course, you can see that the website designs are fairly good as well. There are parts to it that I think you could improve on. This one looks like it's very interactive as well, as you can see. Now, when I'm moving my cursor there, the spotlight behind moves as well, so that's what I'm meaning about the beautiful designs that they have. Now, it even gives them what sort of business they're in, contact information about themselves, what they did, what speaking events they went through, all this and that pretty much. So you could work with this template if you wanted as a resume. And what's great about Squarespace is that it has different optimizations. So you have desktop, tablet, and a phone. Of course, if as an employer you want to look quickly through the resume, you would probably use a phone or a tablet and potentially a computer, of course. So yeah, that's us quickly looking into Squarespace. Now, of course, if you did want to build a resume from scratch, you can do so using the blank template, and that's easy enough to navigate to. And of course, this is where you would add all your stuffs. So moving on, we'll go ahead and check out another website builder. Okay, here we have the more popular website builder to use, which is Wix. Starting off with the pros, we've got a huge list of templates, has a very versatile editor, has great documentation and support, offers a free version to test the service. Unfortunately though, there are a number amount of editors. It's just 3 overall, to be honest with you. You got Wix ADI, Editor X, and Wix Editor. But of course, starting off as a beginner and you're just trying to create a quick and simple resume, can be a little bit confusing as to what you pick. And there are 2 different pricing points, especially with Editor X and Wix Editor. Big jump on them, so make sure you pick the right one. Now, it's also got basic SEO features, which isn't really applicable for the website we're creating. And then designs aren't responsive, so something you may want to consider. And you can't switch templates once you've picked. So be sure that you decide on the template that you pick, or if you want to go for a blank template, by all means go for it. But yeah, just be a little bit careful on the choice that you pick for the template. Now we're going to go ahead and check out the website builder, so bear with me. So you get asked a couple of questions at the start. Now it'll ask you what sort of platform you want to use. My suggestion is that you use Wix, as Editor X is a little bit more complex. And then of course it'll ask you, what website are we creating? Now you would want to type in that you're creating a resume and you would select that. Now there are other resumes available to you. You can create a general CV or a complete resume. And you can have a business resume, tutor resume, or actor resume. We're going to go ahead and just stick with what we have there. And of course, you would name your website your actual name. But for the means of the video, we're going to go ahead and select ProfileTree. Go ahead and click Next. Now, of course, it is a portfolio. I'm happy enough with that. There are a couple of different Wix app market options there, but we're going to go ahead and choose Next because we're happy with the portfolio. And then again, it'll ask you 3 different areas, whether you want to use Editor X, Wix ADI, or the Wix Editor. Now, just to not get too confused, Wix Editor is a completely different platform. If you do decide to pick on Wix Editor, you can choose some different templates available to you. Or if you choose Wix ADI, which is the artificial design intelligence, just like GoDaddy, it will create and build a website for you based on the questions that you provide, questions and answers that you provide. So anyway, what we're going to do is select the Wix editor, as we can go ahead and check out the different numerous designs that they have available. So straight away, we've got an area here which shows us a business CV, and you can see how fluid the designs are as well. There are more options compared to uh, the other templates and website builders that we've seen. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and check out the first one here, which is business CV, and we'll go ahead and view one. And it gives you a quick insight as to who this person is and what they're here to do. And you can check their resume just by clicking on that. So it's a multiple page website. You can even download the CV, which is great, something that you may want as an employer. Of course, you've got some past experience here, education as well, and some skill sets and languages that you know. We've even got an insight onto what projects they work doing or what's currently present. And we even have some contact information available as well. So difference is from the Wix is that we only have an area for desktop and we only have an optimization for mobile. We can't actually view the tablet unlike the other website builders. So take it into consideration, but I do recommend Wix as it is one of the more popular website builders. So now that we've covered that, moving on, we'll go ahead and check out the next website builder. Lastly, one of the other website builders that I've chose is Jimdo. Now it is another great website builder. It has free image library. You can create a custom site within 3 minutes. You've also got personal website assistance. Very easy to use. Has no blog functionality, unfortunately. No app store to add or enhance functionality to the site. No backup for the website, which can be a little bit scary, especially since there's no autosave pretty much. And then you've also got some template restrictions. So maybe something to consider for a resume build. Anyway, we'll go ahead and check out the website builder. So within Startup, this is what you'll get. Of course, this is when you've signed in. You can go ahead and create a new website through a blank one or by using a template, but we'll check out the templates later on. Anyway, it'll ask you what we want to create our website based on. So of course, for those who code, go ahead and select the editor for coding experts. Or if you aren't really too technical with coding, you can go ahead and select the no coding required. We'll go ahead and check this one out first. Now, of course, we're creating a website for ourselves, and it'll be, so there's a couple of different options there, as you can see. So we'll just go ahead and say personal project. And of course, you would write your name down. And then, as you can see, there is one there, which is the profile tree. We'll go ahead and select that. We'll see what happens there. Now, we want to go ahead and say we just want to share my portfolio. I'm happy enough with that. And I can choose to skip this if I want to, if I don't have a Facebook or Instagram page. But of course, if you have them, link them in by all means. Of course, make sure that it is related to some work. Now, what is the website about? We're going to have to say resume. Now, there are a couple of different options there, so we'll just go ahead and stick with no matches. Now, we want to go ahead and make sure that the website's modern. So this is pretty much just like a style option. Asks you 6 different ones that you want. It'll always be the same one pretty much. It even gives you a bunch of the different colors, and from what it's based off as well, since it's able to find us in the Google search engine, it showed of one of our awards. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick the black and pink, and then of course see these are some of the areas that it'll add to our website. We'll go ahead and select continue, and we'll wait for this to build a website for us. So as you can see, it is very minimalistic, but it's giving us enough of what we need to know. Not necessarily quite like a resume website, but you can work with it yourself. Now, of course, as well, we have an area for a, say, CV. Now, these are some of the templates that you can use. and these are some of the available templates that, as I said, yeah, you can use. So you can work your way around them and pretty much change them so that it'll look like a resume. But of course, if this is a little bit too much work, I would more recommend this platform for the ones that code, and I would completely avoid this if you are trying to build a non-technical website, as it can be a little bit too time consuming, especially if you're only creating a CV or resume. So now that we've discussed the different platforms, of course, now we want to look at the key features for your website builder. Now you want to make sure that it is adding up to everything that you want for a resume. And of course, like we discussed, you want to check out the features of that website builder, as well as that what plan you're going to select. So we'll go ahead and check this out. Now, coming up at the start there, of course, mobile compatibility. Now, the website builders that we've looked through all have mobile compatibility, so you don't have to really worry about that. Now, this is only towards those who are creating a website from scratch or a resume from scratch using a website builder or coding. Make sure that it is mobile compatible, as of course employers would want to see it through mobile if they can, or by using another handheld device. Now, you would also want to look into the pictures and storage, video storage, especially if you are going to be adding some content in there, or a huge amount of content. You want to make sure that you have enough storage. So that's one of the key factors as well. And of course, if you want to reach out to other employers per se, then you can have a business email and hosting and domains, but not necessarily applied for yourselves, especially if you're only creating a resume website. Anyway, that was just a brief little discussion on the features. That is pretty much about it. Hopefully that's covered enough of the... So yes, if you guys have any questions at all, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.